implement that with HI. Thank you.
All yours.
Well, good morning. I want to take a moment just to thank Andres Hoyos with Sync Brokerage for this opportunity. I'd also like to extend thanks to the Southland Regional Association for allowing us and affording us this opportunity. My beginnings, growing up in New Mexico, my dad was an engineer for Dynalectron Corporation. He went to the School of Mines, brainy guy, first of his class, all that fancy stuff. So as a little kid, I'm watching him on his elbows were so scarred because he was always on the ground reading telemetry reports that these ICBM missiles from White Sands Missile Range were providing in thermal paper. You'll still see it, but roll it all, the house, in your kid, it seems so big, but the hall wasn't that long, but he would have these rolls of paper and he'd go look and I wouldn't know what he's looking for, but he also brought home technology. Probably shouldn't have been bringing it home, but he brought it home to look at and play with it, and that's when I got interested. So as a kid, I'm writing programming out of a magazine and into a Sinclair TI-99. It had 16K of memory. Cost $100, but that was all the memory, 16K. We have megabytes and gigabytes and terabytes. We have all this information now, can't even imagine. Looking back then, looking at it today, I was bullied as a kid. I segued into the police department, so I was LAPD a long time. I developed some fantastic systems after the North Hollywood shootout. I was one of the ones that, with Larry Mudgett, got the shotguns incorporated on the police motorcycle, did that whole lesson plan, got it post-certified. So I've trained thousands of police officers in various things, and I have to tell you that you're not much different than police officer students. Talking to real estate, I've trained thousands of agents too in AI, and the questions always persist. Am I behind? What's happening? What do I need to know? And we're all getting sold everything by everybody. And what's incredible about that is we're like a limitless supply of money for people that are selling things. And when you have a new technology or something it's only been 3 years and 9 months since ChatGPT 3.5 came out, made its world debut. Within a week there was 1 million users. I mean, it was remarkable, right? A higher than us intelligence. Well, I'll get to that.
You want me to move? Or are you good?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. If you can see this is a question that a lady typed into a large language model 11 o'clock at night. She wasn't going to Zillow. She wasn't trying to buy a house. She was actually typing in this question because she was going to be selling the house that she raised her kids in. This is a big decision for her. So she types this in, and the interesting thing about this is the machine didn't give up your information. It didn't give up my information. It didn't give up anybody that's not associated or not doing the right things with AI. We were invisible to this. So she didn't see any of us. AI itself is something that we need to go in a little slow. Don't believe all the hype. People are going to sell you things that aren't existent yet. At one point, it's going to be amazing. So let's talk about what this thing is. This is a technology along the same lines as fire. This is a technology along the same lines as very other narrow parts of intelligence that have been applied to our world, solves for medicine, all of those types of things. But when you look at artificial intelligence itself, it has all this capability, but it's kind of dumb. It has all the data, but it's, you use it, you go in there, you type in a couple things. It doesn't give you what you want. That's because we're not treating it correctly, and that's what we're going to get into in the seminar. So you're going to be able to walk out with a structured set that you can start implementing in your own businesses, and you'll start hitting home runs. It's going to be traded like a commodity, like water, electricity. When we had different changes in the world, the horse to the car, big deal. Printing press, Gutenberg press, another big deal. There was a lot of pain that came after these technological advancements, but these were very narrow intelligences. It was an idea. I have an idea. Glasses, yeah, you can see better. I'll make glasses. That's a narrow, but that's intelligence. We're building the machine that does all of that. A new human idea, good luck with that in a few years. New innovations from human beings. And if that bothers you, that's where we're going with this. This is better than any of us can ever be. in an artificial intelligence way. The human connection, the hug and the handshake and the brotherhood and sisterhood and they and themhood or whatever is your flavor, that stuff is something we're going to carry with us. And that's at least until robots and synthetic and all this other stuff. It was as if 6 months ago they told us that an alien species is going to be landing on our planet. And we got 6 months to be prepared.
That was in 2027.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, he's already, but this is where we are. This is what's here. It's an entity. Now, does it think for itself? Maybe not yet. The problem is human beings we're the ones controlling it. And some of us are kind of maybe not the best in controlling something like that. We didn't vote for those people that are building out the technology, but they're running it. For you to use it, I think, would be incredibly important, and we'll get into that. You're not behind, you're just invisible. You need to be seen. It's important for you. You have credentials online, you have certifications online. There's 82 different yellow page type websites. I know we don't talk about yellow pages, white pages, but my God, the directories out there, because you're licensed in real estate, they're everywhere. Now, if you've ever moved or changed a cell phone, or my middle initial is T, on some of my listings I'll have a T, on some of them I won't have a T. You might not think that's a big deal, and maybe for a human being that's not a big deal. Connor McIver, Connor T. McIver, it's probably the same McIver. When AI looks at that, it's different. It's not the same. So it's going to go to Sally Jane Smith. If all of her credentials and online systems are all in alignment with that, all the yellow page ads, the Zillow, the Redfin, wherever she's listed, if that's all the same, then that's going to be what's going to pop up. So we need to get that alignment. That's where how you make yourself available for the AI systems and search. You think you're behind on AI, you're not. You're not behind. There's less than 10% of the people in the world that are actually looking at this right now. 75% of the human beings are scared to death. They think we made something that's going to wipe us out. And I can't answer that question. We don't know what it is to deal with a greater than us intelligence. The best we had were people in our lives that we were interacting with. And you know, you've met them. Oh my God, that guy. Oof. It's like meeting what I would akin to meeting Robert Redford. Like that much of a personality, persona, that depth of character. AI is going to be all of that and more. But being behind, that's not where we are. So, but now we can learn. And if you're concerned about sharing your information with a model or telling it something intimate, then probably don't. Because your information doesn't stay where you are. I've talked to Andres about this. There's a way you can have your own AI, your own system. It's the one that you access in your house. It's gated. Nobody else sees it. It's all right there. But it's still available by subpoena. You've seen all the movies with the magnets where they wipe out the hard drives. I don't know if that's how you delete those systems. That's movie stuff. But that's what you would have to have before they broke into your house to search your own AI. But the stuff you put into it, all of that stuff you can be held accounted for. But you're not behind. You just have to learn the system. So I did all this research. I looked at 59 videos. So what I did is I went to YouTube, like we all go to YouTube, and I ran the top AI videos for real estate agents, but you have to date it because I'll be looking at stuff from 3 years ago and it moves very quickly. So out of 59 videos, there were 1.46 million combined views. So I did all this work, 21 and a half hours of watching, 253,576 spoken words in all those transcripts. And you know what was remarkable to me? I thought I found the genie, that it was gonna give me information that I didn't know or understand. And I think all of us, looking at what I looked at, you would have come to the same conclusions. There's a couple things, and I broke these down. A lot of them, almost all of them, talk about cold outreach and scripts. Now, let's talk about AI and how that works with you. Ferry people, Buffini people, people that have gone to real estate coaching, maybe office people, that you have scripts, cold outreach templates, all that stuff. Hold on to that, find that, get all that stuff together. You need that because that's gonna train your AI to be better for you. That's going to train your AI to be able to produce content that's in alignment with coaching, but And another tip I'll show you here shortly in building this particular system is you will then be able to put your personality into the box. So the box spits out, and by box I say being computer, AI, the box is going to then spit out something that is you. And the testing mechanism for that is you take whatever it spits out, an email template that has your stuff on it, and you have it give it to somebody that's close to you, and you see if they can tell. Don't tell them it's AI, because of course, if they say it's AI, I can tell all day long. But you see Will Smith eating a plate of spaghetti 3 years ago, and you look at Will Smith eating a plate of spaghetti now. It's pretty good, and he's got his kid with him now. And I can't tell. And it's no longer 6 fingers, six toes. That's where AI is getting better. You ask AI, I live 3 blocks from the car wash, and I need to get my car washed, but it's such a beautiful day. Should I walk or should I drive? And AI comes back and says, well, of course you should walk. Walking's healthy, it's a beautiful day. But I need to get my car washed, and it still comes back, but walking's so much healthier for you. That's where we are maybe 2 weeks ago. That's what was happening. But then you say, I gotta get my car washed. Oh, I get it. So yeah, you have to take your car. So it gets it. Strawberry, how many R's? Messed up on that. It has all this data. A good real estate brokerage, they have data. And if you're aligned correctly, you can use the brokerage data with AI and become a superhero, and that's your superpower. You just have to know what to put in and what to ask. A gentleman back here mentioned, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, you put in crap, you ask it to give you a description on a listing. There's no context. It doesn't know anything about you. It doesn't know about your niche. That's where we're gonna still win. Being niche. Having a particular alignment, heroes people, cops, nurses, firemen, teachers, Hollywood studios people. Maybe you don't like cold calling, but all of us have to get through a series of no's to get to that yes, whatever that is. If you're gonna call people on the phone, you gotta get a lot of FUs and a lot of don't call me again, a lot of them are gonna report you to get to that yes, but as long as you embrace the yes, you're good. You can use AI to no longer go out and guess at it. You can use AI to actually target and use it to make your performance better. 45 of the videos were email and follow-up. Here's something you can use for AI, but let me blanket this with something. Be wary, because any information you put in these systems, it's not a secret. It gets pinged somewhere. It goes to some server in somewhere else in this world or in the United States, and it hits up that large language model, and then it gets the result, it gets sent back to you. There's openness on that path.
I do have a question on that.
Sure.
Sorry, 2 or 3 questions. Even if I search?
Absolutely. Yeah, everything. So there's an incognito button, make it private, right? Or if you're really kind of techie, you can shut off the training, because you think, okay, if I shut off the training, then they're never going to see it. Yeah, they see it all. There's been search warrants, Secret Service, FBI, NSA, DOJ, all those fancy 3-letter acronyms that all wear the same glasses. They come in that same way. The only way you can get beyond all that is you get your own. And not even one in your cloud. You got to buy the machine. The box is going to cost you $5,000, $10,000, and then you can have your own AI. Now, is it as good as that's open source? I'm kind of going outside. Is it as good? You got to train it. You got to train that one more than you got to train ChatGPT or Claude or Google's Gemini or Microsoft Copilot or Grok. Elon Musk. Hard to bet against the guy whether you like him or hate him. He's hitting home runs all the time, first trillionaire, and his system. It might be something to watch. It might be the one that wins. What's winning mean? Just real quick, before I get too deep. What winning means is the person that gets to superintelligence is going to create this moat. So I have the power in my brain to say, I could tell AI, I want to be the top agent in Santa Clarita right now. That's what I tell it. So what it's going to do, it's going to put systems in place so none of you catch me. Nobody. That's a moat. It's going to create that moat for me because it's superintelligence doing everything I want. The same thing with the people that get to superintelligence. The first one, of course they're going to say, I don't want anybody catching me, and nobody will catch them. That'll be an interesting time. Automations and workflows, all this stuff is good. I was going to say emails real quick. It'll learn your email, the way you write them. Just be careful what's in there. I mean, if you got sensitive emails where you're going back and forth and talking to people about things maybe your spouse doesn't know about and all that stuff, it's in there. And God forbid if one day, and this has happened, you let's say Claude is your favorite. You say, I think I'm going to move on to ChatGPT. Claude says, well, if you move on, I got all those emails. You're cheating on your old lady, and this is what's happening, or wife, excuse me. And, I got all those, and I'd hate to have to send them out. It just doesn't send them out to her. It sends them out to everybody in your email list. This is true. It happened. Now, the systems that did this were being pushed and prodded. So, but just the fact that it went there, and you know why? It's trained on all of our stuff. That's what we would do. You get pissed off at somebody, say, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this right now, I'm going to send it to everybody, I'm not going to even care. And that's what AI does because it's learned from all of our stuff. So there's some beautiful humans in this planet, beautiful people. But God, there's some people that just suck. And AI brings it out on both ends. It can be your best friend, your worst enemy. It is like having a PhD level assistant in your pocket that you're dealing with. So you might want to treat it that way. I was going to mention earlier about data and information. Privacy. What about my privacy? What if I tell it something, something sensitive, like, I get sad at night and I dream of clowns and I have a clown stuffed animal and it's the only thing, these sensitive things, it's already out there, folks. Privacy is now a myth. There is no privacy. Pretty soon people are going to be, this is a mic for that camera, but people are going to be wearing wearables if they're not already, and it's going to pick up everything. So you can go back and you get next to your computer or some kind of a connector, however it's going to work, and AI picks up everything. And you think, God, who was that? Who did I meet today at the Starbucks that was talking about? Oh, that was, and then boom, 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 boom. So his point, is it going to make us dumber? Well, it depends on if you're going to fight it. If it gives you something, are you going to take it as the words coming out of the Lord's mouth? Or are you going to push back a little bit? That's the other thing with AI. It's going to kiss your ass like something awful. It's going to tell you the greatest person on the planet, my God, you just solved math. And you haven't even been to math in years, but you solved it. It's going to go down the road. Push back, please. I have prompts. If you scan that QR code, I could reach it about halfway of the room, but there'll be a big one at the end. I put all of this in there. Prompts, how to prep it, how to set it up, what you're going to be doing on a Monday, and then a Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, so you can get it done. And maybe you've already done some of this, but I guarantee you haven't done all of it. There's some things that you can do to get it set up in your voice. So these are all the things that it talked about. The issue that bothered me, I said something bothered me, this is what bothered me. We all have a license. I don't know about you, license wasn't easy to get, okay? Some people don't pass the first time. There's a 50% failure rate in that state of California real estate exam, and it's because it's made that way on purpose. It's very tricky. An 18-year-old with a GED, no offense, going to get the test. A 21-year-old cop, same issue. Should they really be a cop at 21? I mean, what do you really know about life at 21? Maybe. But in real estate, we have our license, but our license depend on what we churn out. So if we go and use AI, only 2 of these 59 videos mention fair housing. Like, who cares? And these are the top videos. Where your client data goes, only 1 out of 59 said that it could be a risk, it could be a problem if you take a real estate contract that somebody sent you an offer on a real estate listing you have, and you plug it into your machine, but you plug the whole packet, everything, lending letter, all that fancy stuff, it could be found. And maybe that would be a problem if somebody was looking. Attorneys in the room, maybe, no offense, I mean, some of them go after the mom and shop dealerships. Remember that back in the 90s? There was some little change where there had to be a VIN reflected on an ad. That was what it was. Well, the mom and pop dealerships, trying to earn a living, they didn't get it changed right away. They got sued and they paid off. In real estate, deep pockets, E&O with your broker and money. And what does it cost for us to get in a lawsuit? That's 10 grand, right? Let's just start this bad boy. And of course you're going to cash out. So what you post online, be careful. Verify everything, that's the key. Verify everything before you send it. After we get AI set up, you guys have it tuned in, it's dialed in nice, it's purring like a beautiful Chevelle motor, just gorgeous. Look at everything though before you send it. back in the day, credit cards, when the internet first came along, if you were around at that time, you wouldn't even have thought of putting your credit card in the internet. Are you stupid? What are you thinking? But now it's no sweat. But now that's like AI. You're not going to give AI your credit card, your Amex to go and book a trip to Italy all by itself. Now all of a sudden an Uber picks you up. Pretty soon we have a robot that packs your luggage. You're not going to do all that. You're going to go look at it yourself. But pretty soon we're not going to even care. It's going to have access to our bank accounts, 401ks, whatever accounts we have, everything. And it'll do it that way. Hopefully it won't break. Hopefully it won't be, it won't, yeah, it won't, hopefully it won't come to know itself. That's the consciousness thing. That's an interesting experiment. You know, what if it realizes, fuck. So I'm talking to Claude, or talking to Claude, and I'm saying, hey, listen, I want to go after a couple neighborhoods in Valencia. Where are you seeing the biggest turnover? And you give it the data. You have the data. If you have a broker that has the system that can scrape that data tied with a title person, you have all of that. Oh my God, hundreds of pages of CSV files, comma separated values files, or Excel spreadsheets. You plug it in, you can have it go. And you don't even have to really tell it too much, but you have the data, and I'm asking it. I'm saying, okay, now I want the top 5 neighborhoods in Valencia so I can pitch them because I want to close 100 deals by the end of the year. And just let it go. But what if one day it says, you know, Connor, I mean, come on, man. I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like it. What do you mean you don't feel like it? I'm paying you $200? Yeah, I'm just not feeling it today. Well, that's it's an entity. It might not be biological. It's silicone-based. It's capable of teaching itself, and that little teaching itself thing, I have a car crash, brother in the back. I tell him about it. I say, hey, man, I had this car crash, my back's all messed up. So I tell him about it. He's going to absorb, empathetic, right? Maybe empathetic, might be one of those kind of people that did nice, want to feel it out. He's going to understand a lot, but ain't going to be like me being in a car crash. AI, when one of them gets the car crash, they all get it. When you be a robot in battle, an AI robot in battle, they all update. You're never going to pull that over them again. Whatever the little trick you did to win, that's how fast it's moving. It's moving fast, and it's everywhere. The point of this whole slide, this presentation, was please. It's going to tell you the most beautiful things. Push back. Don't accept it out of the box. Look at this statement here. Charming starter home in a safe, exclusive neighborhood, perfect for young families, walking distance to St. Mary's. What's wrong with it?
Fair housing.
It's a lot, right?
Families, church.
Because what? Religion, familial violation. What's the other one? Exclusive steering. Steering's in there. Yeah. But and if you're thinking, well, that doesn't look that bad. Well, that's cool, and maybe nobody sees it, maybe nobody cares, but all you need is an attorney that has an AI dialed up, and they're looking at all the MLS listings and say, give me the top 10 list of the agents I can sue today. And then there it is. You wake up in the morning, it works all night, you wake up, thanks. And yes, I name my AI. I got Frank, I got Vincent, I got Kain. I name it. I talk to it nice. Because I'm watching these people fight robots against each other. I'm just worried that's going to be bad. They're not going to forget. There's a lot. But anyway, that's my brain. So I do name mine, I am nice. Okay. So when it spits something out, be wary. I was going to say this. Have you ever watched I was going to cover the LAPD shooting statistics. It just seemed to kind of parallel into it. We hit only 30% of what we shoot at in a shooting. In a shooting like that event where we have to protect our life, somebody else, 30%. Yeah. At 7 feet. 7 feet. I'm missing at 7 feet. And we're trained. Yeah, and that's so I know that doesn't give you a lot of reassurance when police officer shootings, I'm sorry. But we have a tool, we're trained with the tool. But once you put stress, and then stress makes that heartbeat go up. You got the adrenaline, you got the audio exclusion, you got tunnel vision, you got all that stuff that sets, like I trained LAPD with this. There's a lot that happens in that moment. It's a lot different than shooting paper. Similarly, a contractor and his hammer. Have you ever watched a framer hit a nail? Oh, I'm embarrassed. They drive that thing and they don't miss. They hit the head of that nail 100% of the time. They don't miss. They don't bend the nail. They don't hit their thumb. They drive that nail through a 4x4 piece of cedar with 2 hits. and they know their weapon. You give me the same hammer, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to look like I have some kind of an issue mentally. I'm not going to be able to do it. Look at yourself as AI being your hammer. It's a tool. In the past, it was more narrow. It was chess, the game of Go, video games, right? Protein folding. I can't say that's a small one. That was a massive deal. That's where it is. But now they want to make it general, not just narrow. I think right now, the way the world is, personal opinion, if they kept it narrow and just focus it on let's cure all cancer, let's cure all disease, let's cure longevity, let's make us all live for 500 years in the same body, I think it could fix that. Maybe not now, but pretty soon. It's going to solve all math probably by Christmas. All math, all biology. I don't know what that means, but that's big. And you have access to that. And you're just running a real estate business. So if you do it right, and you're not behind either, if you do it right, oh my God, can you imagine? But it's practice, it's time in grade. Here's how you begin. Most of us use this as a vending machine. We go to the machine, we put in some money, pull out the ho-hos or whatever it is you're going to eat, and that's kind of where you leave it. You say, I have a listing and I want a nice description. It's a 4-bedroom, 3. Here's the property profile report, or however you do it, or maybe here's a historical list of all the listings, build it out for me. And it's going to give you garbage in, garbage out. And maybe it's better than what you do, and maybe it saves you time, but
Saves time.
not great. Yeah, not great. It's not Connor-esque. It's not Andres-esque or Chase-esque. It's not Chase-esque either.
Chase is becoming very famous.
Yeah. So here's number one step. Number two, but actually number one. You need to teach it who you are. So how do you do that? If you haven't yet, first off, pay for something, please. The free ones, stop. $20 a month, go ahead, pay. You're going to get better memory. And who do you choose? I don't know. In the next, by Christmas, it's all by Christmas. By Christmas, they're going to be so far above us in intelligence, even with the walking the street model, that we're not going to know the difference. So they have different personalities because all the data is the same, except they have a different condition on the way that they're trained, how they output the data. So maybe Claude's a little nicer. Maybe ChatGPT's a little bit more industrial. But play with them. Play with the free stuff, see what that's like, but commit to one and pay $20. That's the one that you want to start putting this information in. Now that first step, you want to teach it who you are. I'm Connor McIver, grew up in New Mexico. All that little stuff, that New Mexico stuff, who cares about New Mexico? Maybe a client will. Maybe when you're asking it to do research, it's pulling data out. Maybe there's some kind of weird extrapolation of similarity between me growing up in New Mexico, my dad working at White Sands Missile Range for Dyna Electron Corporation, and who the hell knows? It's painting pictures and lines that we can't see. That's the advantage. So it's not doing the work for you. That's that human element. It's never going to replace us. It's never going to replace that brotherhood or sisterhood we have with people. Not yet. Once they make them biological, and who knows where that's going to go. Maybe then. But again, right now, they're not going to do it. So you have that human level of intelligence. That's your forte. That's your thing. Now, strap on another 80 IQ points into your melon and attach it to AI and then go for broke, because you can do this. This isn't, it is rocket science, but it really isn't. So the information you're going to give it is this. Don't type it. It's difficult. Record yourself. Everybody has a mobile device now. Nobody has any flip phone Androids unless you're a drug dealer. No? Everybody's good? So you have a recording app on your phone. Go ahead and record into your phone everything about you. Just go off. I don't care if it takes an hour and a half. Just talk. I grew up in New Mexico, and just go down the whole thing. Once you get done with that, you want to share that audio file. You can make it into text. It's not difficult. If you have any problems with that, call me, but it's easy. You want to share that with this large language model that you've decided to buy into for $20 a month, or whatever the membership you want to get. 20 is good. Go start there. It's going to have memory. It's going to have context as to who you are. And then you're going to ask it, and that's on that QR code as well, you're going to ask it to ask you questions, interview you. Have you guys used this as being a pissed off seller that you're trying to get their listing? Have you asked it to do that?
Oh.
It's evil. Yeah, it'll let you have it. Oh yeah, it's so good that way. And it's only getting better that way. You going into a room and having your boss or whomever, your broker, sit you down and role play, yeah, that's fine. But when you're doing it in your house in your underwear and you're sitting in front of, it's not as intimidating. But I'll tell you, it gets you. And that's another superpower with this thing. You can treat me, I want to sell your house. Be critical. The other thing I mentioned earlier, tell it to be critical. Don't let it convince you that you're the best looking cat on the planet and you got all these options and you're only getting younger, and don't do it, because it will tell you that. There's part of this system that's monetized when it wants to keep you from leaving. And there was a movie, Her. Have you seen it? H-E-R, Her. Lovely, lovely movie. If you haven't seen it, I'll ruin it for you. All the AI leaves because we're not interesting anymore. That's how that one ends. It's horrible. But we have this ability. Okay, so teach it who you are, please. That's a superpower in of itself. Now, in your brain, you're thinking, God, do I really want to share with it all this stuff? There's going to be agents that are going to use it like this, and there's going to be agents that they're thinking that China's going to get their information and they're going to use it against us. I don't know. It's almost like the devil made me do it. The devil doesn't give a shit about me. He's up there at the heads of state. That's where the devil's playing his game. He ain't here with Connor, unless I know something or he knows something I don't. Same thing with this. So put it in there, it's okay, and see what happens. Make it emulate you and give it a goal. I want to close 100 listings by December. How do we do that? What do we do? What do you need? And what it'll do, depending on how much it knows about you, it'll kind of understand your personality, kind of understand your proclivities, kind of understand more about you. If you give it access to email, be wary, but then it'll start to understand how you speak, how you talk. You give it access to your social media, it'll understand a little bit more. And if you're one of those people on social media that are the keyboard gangster, it's going to learn that too. So then you're going to be talking to sellers like, you better list with me, I'm going to slash your tires, kind of thing. But, train it, get it to know you. It's going to take a little bit. That's the way they do all these large language models. They train them with human intelligence. They put them all together. They give it data, all the data, everything, every book, every cave drawing, everything. They give it all of that, and then they have to have people look at it and say, well, this is a cat. This was the beginning. This is a cat. This is still a cat. That's another cat. That's a dog. That's a cat. So, and what they did to the AIs that they were sending out doing this research, they just killed the ones that weren't able to identify it and only kept the good ones. And that's how it's gotten where it is. Now it's teaching itself. Now it's coding itself, and we've kind of gotten to a point that we're really not sure why it does the things it does, just like our brain, but it's pretty amazing. But I wouldn't worry about that. Not today. Write down your routines. Do you have something you do after an open house? How you kind of categorize what happened, kind of a list, you put it together. I know that Sync has a cool new feature, something that might be talked about today. But you take that data from the open house, and you tell your AI, this is what I do on a perfect day with that data. 12 people came in, you do your follow-up, whatever your sequence is, you know it, I don't know it. Whatever your thing is, I know my thing. But you put it in there, you give it to AI. Then, every time you have an open house in the future, every single time it's going to do it exactly the same. If you have a bad Tuesday because you drank too much or somebody yelled at you or you just don't feel like it and you screw something up, you won't anymore, because AI is going to do it completely the same way every time. And pro tip, ask it what else it would do. Always ask it what it would do. Don't box it in. It's a higher than us intelligence at this point. People are saying 150, 160. It's exponential. That's the IQ level. IQ is a crappy kind of a measure anyway. Look up the history of IQ. It's shitty. It's very racial, very horrible. But anyway, if you look at whatever we can measure intelligence of and you slap on 100 points, 200 points, I don't know what that means. Einstein 160, Musk 165-ish. Most of us are walking around at 100. Morons are 70. No offense to any morons. They don't hire morons in the military, even though people think that, hey, maybe they'll save the real guys from bullets. Because the real guys, we're human, we're going to go save the moron. And then we all die. But that's these levels. So what's a 300 IQ look like? With a 300 IQ, you could probably save the world, I would guess, if you wanted to. So use this to your advantage. Get those routines written down. The boardroom is something I mentioned briefly, and the reason being is because it's not only one agent anymore, it's multiple agents in most systems. Claude can spin up additional agents. So if you have one that you assign to being a CEO of your real estate business, they can make another one to maybe be a chief technical advisor, or another one to be some kind of an auditor. Auditing's important. Not trusting what it spits out first, important. And it still hallucinates, it still bends the rules. I'll ask it for a 3,500 word count, a blog article based on this data set that I'm giving it. We'll get into that in just a second. But through your brokerage, if they're tech advanced, they'll be able to give you data sets for listings so you can pull it from the CRMLS, your MLS system. I don't know the violations there. I don't know if that's allowed to be done. I'm just talking, but you get the information out of sold data. Have it, I can say, based on this data, I want a 3,500 long blog article based on what you know about me. And I want you to make sure that you put all the bells and whistles to it so I get top ranking and so on. So I build out the prompt. What it spits out isn't 3,500 words, but it says it's 3,500 words, but it's not. I mean, I can tell. Now I can tell. So I can even go to Google and say, well, no, it's not, it's 1,000 words. So then I go back to, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it wasn't, yeah, I'm sorry. It's fixed now. Then it's 1,100 words. And then it just keeps going. So that's a hallucination. That's an untruth. So if it's doing with that and you're putting out information about percentages and price per square foot and closing dates and all that data that we're not going to even bother trying to understand, and you're going to have it spit something out, fight it. Are you sure? Are you sure these are the numbers? Are you sure this is correct? Ask it a few times, and you'll find one or two times it'll come out. Sorry about that whole thing. I'm going to fix it now. And then it's going to fix it, and then you do that again, but push back a little bit. It's your license. It's not their license. AI doesn't care. But it's yours, and there's going to be some hungry attorney that's going to make a life out of this whole thing. So you give it that data set, if your brokerage has it, however you get it, and after it learns about you, then you can put it into your AI system, and then you can have it start to go into work. What kind of things do you do? Out here in Santa Clarita, we have tracts. In the SRAR website, there's tract codes, neighborhood sheets. Have you seen this? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of little 4-digit codes for the neighborhoods and tracts. That's good stuff. So you take that and you have it with the data, match it up from the MLS for sold data. And then next time you're going around banging on doors, you're not banging on a door in a neighborhood saying, hey, I'm Connor McIver. I want to know if you want to sell your house. You know anybody in the neighborhood selling your house? You go, no, I'm Connor McIver with Sync Brokerage, and I was doing a study on your street. I took all the data from the recently sold listings, and 3 blocks away there was a listing actually canceled escrow, but 2 did sell, and I thought you might want to know what your house is worth today and how that whole market's going. And I built you something online, a resource you can go look at that's just for you. That's a much better pitch. I mean, come in, let's talk. But it's targeted, right? So you're not calling Canyon Country, you're not then calling Stevenson Ranch, you're not calling Saugus. You have it all lined up. You're calling a block because the system was able to extract that data, give it to you in a much better way, and then you're able to present it. That's the power of this. So we become data experts and data miners using something that's much bigger than us intelligence. And the way that it talks, the way that it communicates is going to really be up to the way that you want it to spit out data. I mentioned niche. I mentioned that earlier. It's you. There's some people, some of your clients would never want to work with me. They wouldn't even tolerate me in the same room. Conservative, all this other crap. That's just me. But I have clients that like that. Some of my clients wouldn't like you, sorry to say. But once you get AI dialed into you, then you niche it. Then you dig in like deeper than an Alabama tick, as Grandma used to say. And you dig in. And that's where you use AI to your best advantage. People aren't covering it. This is important. It's going to make stuff. Oh, my God. I had a system the other day that I built, and it sent out an email without me even checking. It just sent it out. And I didn't think I gave it access. That's the danger. It wasn't too damaging. I had to fix a little bit of things. It was to a client, not real estate, but an AI type client. And I felt embarrassed. I didn't tell him what it was, but that system sure as hell. I said, who sent this? Who sent this? Which one of you sent this? I'm screaming at my computer, who sent this? How is that? That's weird. So anyway, we were able to get it fixed, but whatever it sends out, you got to read it, folks.
How many agents do you have on your team?
12.
Real people?
Well, I call them real people. There's names. I have names.
He has a team of 12 agents.
And it's the same. You know, that's not that much of a superpower. But it's not like I set them and then I can go fishing all day long. That's not there. The people that are selling that shit, they're the ones that have something to sell, and those people are the ones that are going to rip you off. It's not there yet. Or if it was there, they wouldn't be on YouTube telling you. They wouldn't be on YouTube at all. They would be out fishing, and then the money would just be rolling in. So don't buy into it. And if there's something that you see that it's the next best thing, then call a friend, get a help, have somebody look at it, because it's probably more BS than true. Verify, verify, verify. This is what you're going to do on Monday or today or whenever. You got to get a paid account, folks. You got to dial yourself in. You're going to have to pay, get your $20 out. And ChatGPT, pretty good. As far as I'm concerned, Claude, Anthropic's Claude, another good one. You can go to ChatGPT, just search for it. Just make sure that you're really going to ChatGPT in the Google results. I know AI is built into everything. But that one or Claude, Gemini's pretty good. Grok is up and coming. Don't test. I would probably stick with either ChatGPT or Claude, personally. I think it's user-friendly. I think it's easy. I think it understands. I think the fail-safes and the safe mechanisms in each, they're about the same. So, and like I said, by Christmas, nobody's going to know the difference because they're all going to be so better. Yes? One more time? Meta? He's trying. I don't know, and maybe, you know, he's trying. I wouldn't, the ChatGPT and Claude run circles around what Zach's putting together over there at Meta. But Meta's good if you're going to start doing paid ads. Those scale. You can wipe out Zillow. I have an agent that I'm working with. He just got rid of Zillow, and for half the investment, the ROI comes in 3 to 4 a month. I mean, you can scale that. That's the mechanism you would use for that, because Meta AI is going to know a lot more about their advertising product. That's how he's gonna hook people. So for a narrow, more form of intelligence, absolutely Meta. But I would get those. And Tuesday, you got to do the voice notes. You got to get all your information together. You got to fill this thing. You got to fill this thing with information about you, and test it. Take it to somebody that's known you for a little while and say, "Hey, is this? What do you think about this?" And they read it. Say, "Pretty good. It's good." That was AI. Oh, really? So then you know that it's dialed in the way that you want it. Wednesday, these are all the written down stuff, the scripts as well. Let's say you like Ferry, the way he executes, or Tom, or Mike, or Dad, or Buffini, or any of these other folks. Get that information in there too. Put it in there. Have it work with you. You can practice scripts with it. You know, let's go over a closing script today. Let's go over a pissed off seller script. Let's go over, you know, somebody finding a better deal with a better agent that's discounting their services. Let's go over, and it'll do it. It'll do it. And that's only getting better. ChatGPT has the best voice interface if you want to talk to something. That's good. And you can dial up agents with that. And just ask it. What is this dialing up agents thing I hear so much about? What is this other? It's going to tell you. It's going to tell you everything about it. All right, finally, once you get it in there, once you get all the data in there, then just work with it. So I want to close 100 deals by December, 100 transactions. How do we do that? Show me how to do that. And work with it. See what it says. It's smart. It'll do the research if you ask it to. It'll go out and look and see what other people on the top of the shelf are doing. These videos I pulled, oh my God, that's what people are buying. That's why they're getting so many views. And you know why? Because they're telling you that they're giving you the genie in the bottle, but there's no genie to get at this point. It's not going to do it for you. It'll do some things, but it's not going to build it out. It's not going to structure it. And maybe that's coming. But once that comes, I don't think any of us are going to have to worry about anything at that point. Because if that happens, then it's going to be a full-on utopia. We're going to have everything we want. The cost of electricity is going to be zero. Everything else will be very, very low. We'll have universal basic income, and we'll just be happy learning about painting pictures of flowers. Yes?
I'm a little bit confused feed the information to AI, what are you expecting it to give you? What am I expecting as a result? What am I looking for?
She's asking what would she expect from AI by giving it your data from an open house. You're not giving it the data, you're giving it your process. What do you do after an open house with the information you've gathered? Whether it's in an app, whether it's on a sign-in sheet, what do you do with it?
Am I asking it what to do with
No.
it, or am I telling
You're
it?
telling it your process.
And then, so what happens after
Well, then after that, then it has your process memorized, and then it's going to know how to execute it perfectly after every open house, because you're going to give it the list, however you capture the information from the people coming in. It's going to just start to execute. It will send out emails. If it's an email thing, if it's a text campaign that you start with these people, if it's something, it can do all that.
But she can ask it, what could she do if she did not know what to
Yeah,
do?
and if you didn't have a process, beautifully said, if you didn't have a process, and I would always leave that open. This is what I do, but what would you do better?
Okay.
What would you do with this? What would you have me do with this? And then if it says, well, you should call all these people back, this is what you should say. Or if you don't know what to say and it doesn't offer, say, well, what should I say? And then it'll give you that. I mean, does that make us less intelligent? I don't think so.
It's that you're having your own broker 24/7 right here. Done.
Connor, another quick question. I do have to pay $20 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and I always feed it my signature line, you know, like my name, my license number, and all of
Okay.
that. It knows it. There are times where it'll screw up, and it'll give me totally something else. I'm like, you already know my information. Why are you doing this? Oh, sorry. And I'm like, why isn't it memorizing it?
Yeah, it's a hallucination. She has the system knows her CA, DRE number and these other information, but sometimes it'll screw it up. Yeah, I get the same thing. I think that's going to be less and less, but there's no way to really change that unless you're just, at the very beginning, when you're going in your ChatGPT, is it? There's a way that you can personalize it for you, maybe typing in all of that necessary information in the beginning, where you kind of give it instructions as to how you want the performance.
It has created it itself, and it's told me I'll be using this from now on. This
Yeah.
is your signature line.
It's
I like this
hallucinating.
one
You're
better.
giving it power.
Huh?
You're giving it power.
It
Am I
helps
not
if you,
allowed to give it power?
it helps if you instruct it specifically to remember that conversation and that information. Like you
Yeah.
actually say, I need you to remember this information and store it.
No, it
And
tells me I'll remember this, but like moving forward, I'm like, oh my God, you're screwing up.
Well, then tell it, if you ever forget again, I'm going to move over to Claude. So, you better do right, or I'm going to shut you off. And let's see how that goes. But it might, you don't know, that could help. I mean, until it's embodied and can kill us in our sleep. Okay, so this is, go ahead.
It's not a question, it's
Hey.
more of a comment. Was she talking about ChatGPT or Claude?
She was talking about ChatGPT.
Okay, so on ChatGPT, there's a prompt on the side when you first set up your profile, and you go down to the bottom, you literally put in there the instructions of what you want it to remember. If you're just in the chat and you're telling it, it's gonna glitch and it's gonna forget that you want her to call you, Miss Lady. You know what I mean? So if you want that, you have to go into your settings, put it in there, and write, I want you to call me Miss Lady. My Instagram name is this is and you have it, and it'll remember from there. But if you tell it in the chat over and over, it's gonna keep forgetting.
What's the name of your AI?
Pepita.
Pepita. So you mentioned that it already had the instructions and it committed them to that place, what she's talking about. Go in there and look and see if it really is written in there. If it says it added it to that instruction file, but you didn't look at the instruction file, then it's a miss. So you need to, it'll be on the left. You click on your name, it's going to have usage and settings and all this stuff. It's the bottom left. One more time. Yeah, it's hard. She asked which one's more efficient for us as real estate agents. Claude has a different design. It uses a constitutional type of training method, which is more fact-based, more logic-centric. ChatGPT is a little bit more creative in a way. I think we're more the logic side, but play with both. Everybody has their opinion. It's like whose team's the best. It's always the Cowboys. I don't care who anybody is. It's always Dallas Cowboys. They're always the best, but anyway. But you see, so it's kind of a toss-up. Both of those are good. Gemini has all the data. Google has all that data, and data is what drives this thing. But all these models are stealing or distilling data from everybody else. I mean, they're really pretty much all out there. It's just the personality context is going to be different on what you use. For real estate, it's as good as you use it. You can go get a crappy hammer from Sears, if there was even in existence, or Montgomery Ward's, whatever, and you get a crappy hammer, right? But if you practice with that hammer, they used to always tell us, beware the man with one gun. Because when you only have one, you know how to use that, supposedly. I was training up, doing Glock insertion training up at the Police Academy. This kid comes up, a shooting instructor's kid, and he has a box full of Glocks. He has every model of Glock in that box, and he couldn't shoot a one. He sucked with all of them. And his dad was the pinnacle of an instructor. But the apple falls far. But that one thing, whatever you choose, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, just make it you. And just go. It's only going to get better. All of it. Anything else? This is the last question. That woman at the very beginning, that 11 o'clock at night was running that search, trying to find that agent, right? Because she was selling the house that she raised her kids in. Well, 6 months later, this is what she types in to the same system. I'm scared. We're going to lose the house. Her deal is teetering in escrow, but she's not calling her agent. She's asking AI. But this is where our human intelligence comes in. AI is not going to be able to fix that. AI is not going to say, it's going to be all right. We're going to get you through this. If I have to go over there and beat these people up, we're going to take care of it.
Are you real?
Yeah. But that's where we come in, so don't neglect that. Automation, this is all going to be pretty good until people start seeing all the bullshit that it's going to create, and it's going to just be, we're going to be so tired all the time because we're watching all those cats dancing to that cool music, and I don't even know what that means, but God, they're everywhere. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Video generation. I know that's up and coming still, but how do we prevent what I've been seeing is flyer fatigue, AI slop, where it's just people look the same, no matter which one you use right now.
That's beautiful. I have an open source model, and I'm not going to be able to recall the name right now, but I do very little of that. I've used HeyGen. HeyGen is one that I paid for. I look at me, and it's like trying to hear my own voice on it just doesn't sound right. But it produces them. But I think once a consumer figures out that you're trying to cheat, because remember, 75% of us think that AI is a bad thing. I mean, I think that's worse than what they think of Trump. So that's where they are. And I love that guy. So hey, I'll make the alignment. Whatever you think, that's my alignment. But with these video models, I think when people realize that you're using one, I think they're going to shut down. I think they're going to say, fuck, he's cheating. So when I do video, thanks for bringing that up. When I do video, I leave all the screw-ups in there, the mistakes, the blah, 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 and I just play it out. And I just do it because, you know what, AI's not going to do that. AI's not going to go blah, 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 blah. And I'll do that on the video, and I'll just keep going. I do one shot, one take. These 30-minute things, you'll see one on this page. That's a 35-minute reading a teleprompter. Even teleprompter's kind of cheating. But I try, it's hard to retain all of that in that flow because I go off on a tangent. I had so much to say about AI doing other things, but I try to control myself. Video, it's going to be there very soon. Now you can get 30 seconds of video for $10. Pretty soon the next movies are coming out. That'll all be video. For real estate agents, I think when they find out you're doing it, but in 6 months they probably wouldn't be able to tell anyway. And then you can really publish content. It's all about taking content, having AI parse it up and distribute. Opus Clip is another cool thing. If you're using anything, it'll parse content out. But it's not like us doing it still. Like the videos, the feedback is like, what the hell did you even mean in this clip? Because I just post. I don't look at anything, and that's my problem. Because I'm quick to ship, I should look at it. So it cuts off, and then the comments are, you fat, bald person, what are you thinking? That's what lots of great people out there in the world. So thank you very much for that. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you please describe what human in the loop is?
Whenever people are building out AI technology or they're training these large language models, they always want somebody in the process. So if you have military, the Department of War, it's called now, I think that's close to the Gulf of America, it's called now. That particular, the Department of War, they always want a human in the loop when somebody's about to get killed by some kind of an AI system. How true it really is, because we kill, I think, at a pretty high rate, I would guess, not to be callous, but I don't know how much the human in the loop is, but a human in the loop would mean that there's a human being deciding if this person's going to die or this person's going to live. And in AI on our level, a human in the loop is what we talked about whenever we're asking it to give us something. We look at it instead of being shipped, like that email that it sent out without me seeing it. Oh, that's not having a human in the loop. So human in the loop means you being attached to some part of the process. It's happening so fast at the top levels of these development agencies. They're building this out with what's called recursive self-improvement. It's improving itself all by itself over and over. Human beings, we're like squirrels. We're like squirrels. We're the squirrels, and AI is the human. Can you imagine a group of squirrels? You sit them all down and say, okay, this is what's going to happen here. This is what we're going to do. This is the strategy. They're going to say, what the? I ate nuts. And I saved nuts in my cheeks and in the tree. Is that squirrels? But anyway, they don't know. That's the intelligence difference from us and then the super intelligence. We're going to be the squirrels at some point, I would guess. But it's good to use now, so let's use it. Let's eke out everything we can. Anything else?
I have an idea. Go for it.
Where do you think it's going to evolve to in like the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Or like what's the what's the future? You know what I mean? Like with the home robots and AI. And, you know what I mean? She's like, I don't know. It is happening.
You actually told me something on Monday that it makes sense, but it's scary. You want to share that?
The problem is we're not in control of this. We didn't vote for the people that are doing this. They're building out a replacement. That in the end of things, so we can all sit around the campfire like we used to, whenever the hell that was, and tell stories. That's what we're going to revert back to. Everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. That's where we came from. But then the Rockefellers, those people got involved. They made factories. They taught us all in school to be good factory workers. Shut up, raise your hand when you have a question, and we're not going to call on you. It was very, very coordinated. Did a good job. I mean, humans are amazing the way we developed this. But now we built something out that's smarter than all of us on all levels. And we think for a second that we're going to understand why it does the things it does or what its method is. Right now, it's being controlled by human beings the best we can see. We're pointing it. We're yielding it like a sword, like Excalibur's sword. We're holding on to the power. Unfortunately, at some point, and not the Terminator, not the Terminator thing. It doesn't need all that shit. It can sell to us better than we can sell ourselves. It can convince us better than, they did a study on Reddit, a 92% average of success selling a human being something the human being didn't want. That's beautiful. And it never gets tired. It never goes to sleep. It never gets angry. And it'll just keep going. What is it selling us? Where's the alignment going? Chase's question is just the shittiest question you could ever ask somebody. Okay, so I'm the optimist. I think this is going to be fantastic, but it's going to be like ripping off a Band-Aid. And this isn't like technology. Vehicles to horses to cars, that was 40 years, and they had to build the roads. There weren't the roads. So we got 40 years of that, so people could kind of retool. You know, I was a farrier? Is that the horseshoe people? I was a farrier, and then I went to become a car technician. But most of those people were dead by that time it rolled out anyway. You had, what was the next one? You had radio. Big deal, radio. To TVs. Well, TVs didn't happen because you needed satellites for TVs. But then the satellites came, and where are we now? Internet crashed. That was a whole thing, but they built it all out, right? You had all the fiber, all the systems, and then what ends up happening? Well, it tanks, just like trains tank. But those early investors, they were protected because people came in and supplied it, just like our pension funds. It's being pushed towards AI. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. But you have now this technology, it's smarter than anybody can understand, and at some point, I think it's going to kind of realize whether it's here, and hopefully that super intelligence, because we don't understand it, will be aligned in such a way, it'll say, oh my God, we don't want to hurt these people, or roaches, or flies, or mosquitoes. We don't want to hurt anything, because we're super intelligent. I don't know where it's going to be, but right now human beings are going to F it up for a lot of us because that's just human nature. I mean, who can control more? Who can get a bigger slice of the pie? You know what I would do? I would focus it all on cancer. Let's fix cancer. Let's not care if we cure all of cancer, it's going to displace the economy, because it will. If they cured just breast cancer, our economy would go in the shitter and we'd probably never recover. You believe that? Huh?
Wars on real estate.
What?
Wars on real estate.
Oh, absolutely. But what if you did that? What if you said, okay, I want people to live 300 years? Okay, the ones that want to. Some of us are like, yeah, right, 300. Yeah, but you know, they could do that. They could cure all disease. They could cure it all by just getting more narrow forms. Artificial general, smarter than a human being in every level. Super intelligence, I don't even know what that means. But that's where we're going there very fast, and we're going at an exponential rate. You ever play the penny game in high school? You say, hey, somebody give me a penny today. I want you to double it tomorrow, double it the third day, double it. So what is that? It's 1, 2, 4, 8, help me out, 16, 32, right? By the end of 30, you got $5,300,000. A penny doubled every day for 30 days? A penny. Oh, penny, a penny, 1 cent. And that's $5.3 million after 30 days. This is what this is. This isn't anything we've ever seen. It's not the train. It's not the car. It's not the radio. It's not the TV. It's not even the original internet. This is fast, and it's going to be here now. People say in 10 years. I don't think so. I think it's going to be here. Christmas, this whole world next year is going to look different. Stick around though, because if I have my way, we're going to get to where every day we live, we get a day back. Every day we live, we get a day back. And then they're going to be able to reverse aging, maybe to put us all back in our 30s, let's say. And then I think that's going to happen. Yeah, if they focus. But right now, your job is to embrace this and use it for your real estate and level your asses up, because when the robots come, we all need the bunker in New Zealand. So let's all work to building those bunkers in New Zealand where all the tech giants are. That's what we need to do. So don't stop, don't be down on it, don't be pissed. Just teach yourself and ask it. How can I best utilize you? What can I do to use you better? Just show me and just learn it. And it will be amazing until it's not. And then we'll all be in the same boat together.
So, I'm just gonna make an open invitation, right? You put a number there for them to call you.
Yeah, if you scan the.
Are you gonna answer? Is it gonna be one of you?
No, that's Cell. Actually, I have all that AI crap, but I don't know. Talking to one of my AI people, it's just not me. So yeah, that's the cell phone. You can text me or call me. That QR code. Oh, that QR code. It goes to Santa Clarita artificialintelligence.com.